Guys doing? We're gonna do my complete 4K collection. Now I have a very extensive 4K collection, more than I ever thought I would have. Um, and I'm gonna pull out some at a time, put them back, and then pull out others. So that's kind of how we're gonna do this video. The reason I never thought I'd have this extensive of a 4K collection is this. A lot of these 4Ks I bought are future-proofing my collection. So out in the living room, there's a 4K TV. That 4K TV is not the one I have right behind me. So when I want to watch a 4K movie, it's not very often I get to, because other people live in the house, So I have 4Ks, a lot of them, and I love 4K. Love the format, love how some of these movies look, but I just don't end up watching them very often, which I'm going to change in 2020. I want to watch way more of my 4Ks. So let's start with the Disney ones. Little Mermaid on 4K. I can't believe this one. I've not watched this yet, but I found this for $2 brand new sealed at a Goodwill. And $2 for Little Mermaid on 4K, a Disney title I didn't have. Great deal. Beauty and the Beast, my favorite Disney animated movie. Love that movie. Lion King, another pretty good one. Wreck-It Ralph. I love Wreck-It Ralph, one of the best modern Disney movies. Hate the sequel, though. This is a Target exclusive 4K edition. Then we have the Toy Story 4Ks. So I have all the Toy Story movies on 4K, which is pretty neat to have. And then I have Coco on 4K and onward. So yeah, I don't have all the Pixar movies. I have some Pixar movies on Blu-ray, some on 4K. Kind of mix it up. With some of the Disney titles, because my thing about Disney titles, very expensive. So if I can get the Blu-ray for really cheap, then I'll get the Blu-ray. If I can get the 4K for really cheap, cool, I'll do that. And I have Hocus Pocus on 4K. So that's kind of how I do things. Same thing with Marvel. You'll find that I have a lot of Marvel movies on Blu-ray and a lot of them on 4K. So just give me a minute. I'm going to put these back so we can get into all the other 4Ks. 4K. Alright, let's get into the Marvel movies in 4K. So let's start with Iron Man. I don't really like Iron Man that much. It's okay. I know people love Iron Man. It's just an okay movie. Like I don't get the hang up with Iron Man. Incredible Hulk. Hate this movie. Very bad. Thor. Very bad. And Iron Man 2. Also very bad. I do not like those movies. One of my favorite Marvel movies here. The Avengers. Not as great as everyone says it is. And I think people really need to watch this movie again. Because this is a very dated, bad-looking movie. Like, this movie looks like a TV movie that was shot in 2012. And it came out in 2012, and it just looks very dated. It doesn't look good in a good way, and that's where I'm at with this movie. Then we have Iron Man 3, Thor the Dark World, Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy. Iron Man 3 is one of my favorite Marvel movies. I know, people hate that one. Don't understand it. Thor the Dark World, terrible movie. God awful. Winter Soldier, everyone says this movie's really dark and really unique. It's really not. It's an okay movie. Guardians of the Galaxy, pretty good. This is probably one of my favorite Marvel movies as well. Ant-Man, one of my least favorite Marvel movies. I hate the Ant-Man movies. Doctor Strange in 4K. I've only seen it once, and that was when I watched it in the theater, and I've never seen it since. Actually, you know what? I did rewatch it for my review of it. Besides that, I haven't really watched it. Rise of the Galaxy Volume 2. Black Panther. Don't really care for this one. Infinity War, my favorite Marvel movie. Far From Home. Don't really like this movie at all, but it's a movie. New Mutants, just skip this one. And then I have every Star Wars movie on 4K except for The Last Jedi, because I couldn't find the 4K. Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith, Solo, Rogue One. And I do have them organized in chronological order. Rogue One, A New Hope, Empire, and then Return of the Jedi, and then, Rise of Skywalker. So that's how I do that. I have Home Alone on 4K, which is one of my favorite movies and my favorite Christmas movie. Ad Astra, fantastic movie, very, very underrated movie. This is my favorite Brad Pitt movie. One of my favorite sci-fi movies of the last 20 years, maybe 10, 20 years. I don't know. Great movie. Elita Battle Angel. I've seen this once or twice. People really like this one, and I get it why there's an audience for this one. I just don't get into it. I think that it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. I just don't get into it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know why I don't get into that one, but I don't. Alien, one of the best sci-fi movies ever made. One of the best Ridley Scott movies. The Martian, pretty good movie. Matt Damon movie. Probably my favorite Matt Damon movie. Spies in Disguise on 4K. Great. Very underrated. This movie, I know that if you've probably seen the trailers for this one, it looks like absolute shit. I can say it's significantly better than that and has a pretty cool message to it. I really like that. We have Full Metal Jacket on 4K, and this is the Best Buy exclusive Steelbook. The Town on 4K, which I've never watched. Don't need to do that. Someone gave that to me, said it's really good, and I have not watched it, and I'm sorry. So, Sherlock Holmes 1 and 2, don't really care for these movies too much, but I got them on 4K because I felt like I should have them. And I tend to rewatch them again on 4K, which I haven't done yet. Wizard of Oz, one of the best looking 4Ks, and it's amazing because this movie's like 80 years old. Well, it's actually 81 years old now, right? I don't know. It might be older now. I don't even know. The Shining on 4K. I've not watched The Shining on 4K. I've never seen The Shining. I know. I haven't seen it because there are some movies that I want to watch in the right time, in the right atmosphere, and I don't feel like I'm ready to watch The Shining yet. V for Vendetta, one of my favorite movies of all time. Remember the 4th of November, that gunfight in treason. I see no reason that it should ever be forgot. Tenet on 4K. Incredible movie that makes absolutely no sense and isn't that good. We have Goonies and Beetlejuice on 4K. I don't think either of these 4Ks are particularly great, but they're cool to have if you really love those movies. And they're okay. Both movies that I kind of have a soft spot for, so I feel like everybody has a soft spot for the Goonies, but Beetlejuice I have a very big soft spot for it. I don't know why I bought this on 4K, but Scoob, I should have just bought it on Blu-ray. This is not a very good movie. I don't like Scoob. I watched it 5 times trying to like it, and it didn't work out. Space Jam on 4K. Love Space Jam. One of my favorite guilty pleasure movies, and there's a lot to love about Space Jam, even if it's not that great of a movie. Let's see. Batman Ninja Turtles on 4K. I don't own a lot of DC animated movies on 4K because it's just, what's really the point of that? Because I don't really see a huge difference between them on Blu-ray and 4K. They're not beautiful looking movies anyways, so it's whatever. Joker and Birds of Prey on 4K. So that's cool. And then we have Red Sun Superman, one of the best DC animated movies, I think. We have Wonder Woman on 4K, which I like. I'm not a huge fan of Wonder Woman. I liked it a lot when it came out, and then I kind of got lesser and lesser. Oh, you know what? I forgot Superman the Man of Tomorrow as well. That's another great DC animated movie. Aquaman on 4K, pretty good. Fun, stupid movie that is really bad in a lot of areas. Pretty laughably bad, but still really fun to watch. Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. You know, a lot of people love that one. I don't really love it. It's cool though. Shazam. 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 Love Shazam. My favorite DC movie, probably. Yeah, I'd say probably so. E.T., the 4K Steelbook. Schindler's List, the 4K Steelbook. And then we have Halloween 2018, the 4K Steelbook. I don't own a ton of... Well, I guess I do own a ton of Steelbooks. I never really planned to own this many Steelbooks, honestly, either. First Man, watch this on 4K. It looks really great. Not one I'm going to be watching all that often, though. Apollo 13, never been a huge fan of this one. Some people love it. I don't. Parasite, fantastic movie. Though, I hope Criterion does a 4K of this because they do a Criterion Blu-ray. Don't know why they didn't do a 4K. Love Parasite, so... The Thing on 4K. Still haven't watched this yet. Just got this recently and I haven't watched it yet. Definitely need to do that. 1917 on 4K. Love 1917. And it looks great on 4K. Glorious Bastards on 4K. Never seen this movie. I haven't watched this yet and I definitely need to do that. We'll do that soon. Yesterday is a pretty okay movie. So that's a movie. We have Jaws on 4K. This is the lenticular version, which I don't think they make anymore, but love that one. And then I guess we're getting out of my Universal 4Ks. News of the World. Still haven't seen this yet. I need to watch through that. Heard some mixed things. Peter Jackson's King Kong. I don't know why I bought this. I think it was just like I wanted to start getting 4Ks, and I like King Kong. And I kind of remember this movie vaguely. And then I watched it in 3 hours of boredom. God, what an awful movie. Big Lebowski. Watched this for the first time. Made a video about it. But I really love that movie. Straight Outta Competence. Haven't seen this yet. Definitely need to watch that. You know, I mean, see, this is why I made that video talking about how I'm going to watch a movie every single year. Or every day of the year. Because look how many movies I have that I'm telling you I haven't watched and I'm going to watch. And it's been that way for years for some of these. The Croods, Trolls World Tour on 4K. The only DreamWorks 4Ks I have because they were just really cheap, especially the Trolls. But for the most part, I just buy my DreamWorks movies on Blu-ray because I don't really see a major upgrade during the time. Prisoners of the Ghostland Steelbook. If you don't get the Steelbook, you can't get the movie in 4K. And I don't really recommend this Steelbook because this disc is stacked on top of the Blu-ray disc and it bangs around a lot. And if you know anything about 4K discs, once they scratch, they ain't going to play right. That's all I'm going to tell you. Color Out of Space on 4K. Great Nicolas Cage movie. VFW. Pretty strange, weird movie, but I really like that one. Not one I'm going to watch ever again, but it was an interesting one-time watch. Arizona, one of my favorite dark comedies. Really funny movie. You can actually find the Blu-ray for that Dollar Tree, but if you want 4K, it's like $8. Recommend that. Along with this one, A Brawl on Cell Block 99. Pretty good movie. The Green Knight, an A24 masterpiece. Absolutely adore this movie, and I can't wait to see what David Lowery. Apologize for saying his name wrong. I hope I'm hoping to see what he does next. Really love that movie. Ex Machina on 4K. This is always like $8, so I recommend picking this one up. Another great A24 movie. A24. You guys put out way too many good movies. Can't keep up with all the masterpiece you guys are spewing out. Snatch on 4K. Still need to watch this. Again, take a drink every time I say that, and then you will be dead. So, actually, don't do that, because I have said that a lot. Now we're getting into my Sony 4Ks, which I have a lot of just because, if you know anything about Sony, they actually own the 4K format, and they make the players. So, 2122 Jump Street, love these movies. Whiplash, one of my all-time favorite movies, definitely in my top 10. Love Whiplash. Hellboy on 4K, love Hellboy. And that's the good one, not the bad remake they did. And then Hellboy 2, The Golden Army, the sequel. So, Godzilla 98. Some people might be like, why the hell do you have this? I have a soft spot for this movie. I don't think it's nearly as bad as some people make it out to be. It's a fun movie. Yes, it's not accurate to Godzilla, but who gives a shit? There's 20,000 other movies that are accurate to Godzilla, so why do you care? Spider-Verse. Love that movie. One of my favorite animated movies. Starship Troopers. Absolutely adore the satire in that movie. It's great satire. Interesting, like, kind of what the movie's saying, really, type themes. I really love that. Baby Driver. Love that movie. My favorite Edgar Wright movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Absolutely phenomenal. Air Force One. Pretty good Harrison Ford movie. Cliffhanger. I still don't watch this. I got this at a Comic-Con for $3. Someone was like, hey, I don't want it. $3. I'm like, shit, I'll take a shirtless Stallone 4K so I can watch Stallone without a shirt on in the highest resolution possible, because you gotta have that. Glory on 4K, pretty great movie. And then this is one I need to watch still, The Natural with Robert Redford. So I didn't watch that. And now we'll get into my 4Ks. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, which people really freaked out over that one. Like, oh, it's so good. Compared to what the movie looked like before, yes. As a movie it stands now, it's pretty lame and meh. The sequel, I'm optimistic about. Hunt for Red October on 4K. And then we have Shutter Island on 4K, which I've never seen that movie. I know. Need to watch it. Braveheart, another one I've never seen, because I don't really know when I'm going to have time to sit down for 3 hours and watch people brutally murder each other and decapitate each other and long speeches about whatever. So, we'll watch. Just haven't. And then we're getting into my Eddie Murphy 4Ks, Coming to America, my favorite comedy of all time. Oh, it's either that or Zoolander, one or the other. Beverly Hills Cop on 4K, which I recommend just getting this over this. I just got it because I'm a completionist. Because you can get the trilogy for the same price you get the 4K. That's all I can say. Scream on 4K, just got this, haven't watched it. And I need to do that before that new one comes out in January. Will do. Ten Commandments on 4K, one of the greatest 4Ks out there. One of the most, I don't know if I would call it one of the greatest. I know a lot of people will, because of its historical significance, and I would agree with that, but at the same time, it's like, not one I particularly love as much as some people do. Super 8 on 4K. I don't really care for Super 8, but I have it, because I do want to watch that again. And it was $8 on 4K during Black Friday. Bumblebee. Movie I really liked the first time I watched it. The more I've seen it, the less I like. And then we get in my Tom Cruise 4Ks, which these all came out around the same time as each other. It was really weird. We have Top Gun, which not a huge fan of, but it's a fun movie, and I watch it every once in a while. Days of Thunder. This is a weird movie. This is actually directed, I believe, by the same guy who did Top Gun. And it has the same look and feel. Came out around the same time. Yet this movie just seems to always go under the radar, and I don't understand why. Because if people obsess over Top Gun this month, that as much as they do, why does no one talk about Days of Thunder? Pretty damn good movie, I would say. War of the Worlds. A really overhated Spielberg movie. I don't really get the hate for this one. And Interstellar in 4K. Some more Christopher Nolan in 4K. Because you gotta have Christopher Nolan movies in 4K. It's the only way to watch them. And then we'll get to Cloverfield and 10 Cloverfield Lane. I do have the third one, but that's not in 4K for some reason. And then we have A Quiet Place. I need to get A Quiet Place too, but honestly, I could wait a really long time because I do not care for the Quiet Place movies. They're okay. And then I have Sicario on 4K, which is a pretty good No. Pretty great, damn good movie. If you've never seen Sicario, you need to watch that. And then American Psycho, which I've never seen, still need to do that. But look at this sickening Steelbook with Mr. Patrick Bateman on the cover. And now we're going to get into some more 4Ks that I got sitting over here. I also have 4K box sets to show you, so we'll get into those after we get into the rest of my, just standard case size 4Ks. So what we're doing here is just kind of... Alright. This is the original Halloween on 4K. I'm going to upgrade this to the Shout Factory 4K so I can have all the Halloween movies match, but it's going to be a while before I do that. John Wick on 4K. Love John Wick. I've never seen John Wick 2 or 3. Need to get on those. I was going to actually watch through them all and review them all, and then I kind of stopped, and now I just need to actually just do a trilogy watch through at some point. But John Wick. And then I have all the Rambos except for number 5. So I have Rambo 4, Rambo 3, Rambo 2, Rambo 1. So I have all the Rambos on 4K. And then let's get into the Midway on 4K. I really like Midway. Kind of just a dumb popcorn action movie, but also a lot better than you would expect it to be. Knives Out, pretty fun movie. A movie that I like more the more I watched it. I was kind of more skewing on the negative side of it when I watched it, but the more I've watched it, the more I've really grown to love it. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. This is the opposite. I really liked it the first time I watched it. The more I watch it, the less I like it. Requiem for a Dream on 4K. Incredible movie. One of the best David Aronofsky films. Excuse me if I said that name wrong. Total Recall on 4K. Fantastic movie. And Ghost in the Shell on 4K, which love that we're getting anime in 4K. That's really awesome. And then we have Planet of the Apes. Now this is a Blu-ray collection that has all the original movies. And when I say the original ones, I mean like the ones from the 60s. So kids, we're not talking about that new trilogy, but the newer trilogy is in 4K in here, and all the older films are in Blu-ray, which is like I kind of wish they remaster them all. But then we have this Steelbook set that has Batman 1989, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin in 4K, which I have a soft spot for Batman Forever. I like Batman 1989, and I don't know how I feel about Batman Returns. Harry Potter in 4K. I have this because I feel like I should, because it's such a widely revered series, and I don't really care for the Harry Potter series, though. And I haven't rewatched these since I bought them, so I've only seen the Harry Potter movies twice, and I don't think I'll ever go back. Maybe I will. The Daniel Craig Bond. Why was this? It was in the wrong way. I don't know why. I don't know. Daniel Craig on 4K. I love Bond, so I need that set. I still need to grab No Time to Die. That just came out. Independence Day on 4K. Love Independence Day. The first one. Now, this is the 2-pack with 1 and 2. I've never seen 2. I don't plan to watch 2. Kingsman. Love these Kingsmen. You get this for $15. 2 movies in 4K. Go grab damn Kingsman in 4K. Totally worth it. The Jack Ryan 4K set, which of course I already have Hunt for Red October, but this is a nice set that has all the other ones, which I love. And then we have the Alfred Hitchcock movies and the Back to the Future 4Ks. So that's that. And we have 2001: A Space Odyssey in 4K, which I love. One of my favorite Kubrick movies. Just one of my favorite movies. And then we have Apocalypse Now, which I really don't like how this set is packaged. Because this feels like there should be like a slip box over this part of it, but there isn't. Because if you kind of look at it, just, I don't know, something about that just throws me off. But that is all my 4Ks. That is every 4K I have. You guys can let me know your thoughts, like, and subscribe. See you guys next time.